What's up guys, CyberHoudini here and welcome back to your daily dose of gaming. It is August, it's a brand new month. Where the hell did that summer go? Well, we've got one last month of it. It's been hot as hell here and I think it's actually starting to heat up a little again. Oh yes, another heat wave coming for Ireland. But actually, this month is going to be pretty hot for games as well. So, a little bit of a heat wave all around. Hell yes, we got some brand new games from PS Plus and Games with Gold, the Game Pass, and of course all the hottest new releases. I thought we'd go over them together. Thought it'd be a bit of fun. It's been a minute since I've done this because the news, news kind of drying up a little bit. There's still rumors about this new abandoned game, whether it's Silent Hill or not, and also a possible Sony event coming in August. We'll see about that. We'll see. I don't know. Right now, they're keeping things pretty tight-knit. A nasty little rumor floating around is that Horizon Forbidden West may actually be delayed, which is entirely possible. I mean, at the end of the day, delays, they suck, no doubt. There's that initial, like, oh. But, look, it's for the best. It's for the best. It allows the games to get properly polished. I don't think Sony are in any rush at all to release any of these games because they know that people are waiting to get PS5s, and the more I look up, and see these articles from Intel and AMD, the more they just say, oh, delays are not slowing down, But Sony's PS5 has just passed the 10 million units sold milestone, which is pretty damn cool, I knew they were pretty close to it. There's always been that little inside little game between the consoles, first to 10 million pretty much wins the generation, but it was clear even like 2 generations ago that Xbox had different things in mind, They've done a lot to kind of right that train, but they're definitely moving in a different direction altogether, which is cool. You can have your Switch, you can have your Xbox, and you can have your PlayStation. Whichever is your favorite, it's all good, It's all games. It's all love, baby. It's all love. Alright, let's kick things off with this month's PlayStation Plus games. Now, sadly, in my personal opinion, they're a little bit weaker than normal, but there seems to be a little bit of something for everybody. That really does seem to be what PlayStation are trying to do, Sadly, though, when you try and become like the jack of all trades, you become the master of none. But in this case, people just get really pissy. They're free games at the end of the day. A lot of these people just they don't have their PS5 yet, so a lot of the games they want on PS Plus are actually part of the PS Plus collection, which are 20 free games that you'll get as soon as you get your PS5, So a lot of them, like Monster Hunter World, Uncharted 4, Bloodborne, God of War. There's a lot of like third-party support there as well, where a lot of people are like, how has this not become a PS Plus game yet? And that's kind of why, because it has. It's just not where you think it is. But trust me, when you get those games, try your best not to even buy them on sale, because when you get that PS5, holy, even like Final Fantasy 15, there's so many great ones. I've shown them up time and time again. Anyway, so for this month's PlayStation Plus games, we got the new Plants vs. Zombies game, which I hear is actually pretty good. It was very badly marketed by EA, no surprise there. If you're a big fan of Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, you'll fit right at home at Battle for Neighborville. I'm still an OG fan of Plants vs. Zombies, back when it was like a grid-based game. I know it was kind of like a flash game back then, but I really loved it. It was simple, clean, and super addictive. Also, we have a tennis game, which is pretty interesting. They have been trying to slide in sports games and rally games. You can tell that that's what they consider like summer games. It's probably just to drum up a little bit of hype, around like Wimbledon and all that. It's pretty clear. And then we have Hunter's Arena Legends. Now, I thought that main character looked a bit like Rihanna there for a second. But there you go. But Hunter's Arena Legends, I believe it's a brand new MOBA or a Battle Royale. Let me just pull up a trailer real quick. I had seen stuff about it. The combat in it looks very clean. It looks like my kind of combat. But the fact that it gives me vibes of a Battle Royale, then, yeah. It kind of like, it turns me off a little bit. This is the one they showed off with the panda in it and things like that, so... Oh, bollocks needs me to sign in. I fucking hate that. Stop with this goddamn shit, please. Trying to find a trailer. Yeah, there was a big Kung Fu panda in it. I mean, it looks really nice. It looks really clean. But is that going to be enough? Here we go. Here we go. Alright, let's bring this over here. Sorry for the blinding light. There you go. There you go. Yeah, Hunter's Arena Legends. Let me do a little bit of digging for you guys. Ultimate Fight for Survival. Yes, I bet. I bet. There's a lot of games like this. There's another one as well that's coming out. It's kind of like a samurai game, and I had thought that it was going down the hack and slash route. Lo and behold, it's another battle royale as well. So I don't know. This one gives me kind of Dynasty Warriors vibes as well. Flashy trailers, but who knows, will it be fun? I mean, it's going to be free. Let's see, here we go. So it's a 30-player PvP or PvE combat-based battle royale. But the PvE gets me kind of excited. I'm sorry, I was kind of over the battle royale genre back in 2018. Here we are in 2021, where you've got kind of the stragglers that are a little bit late to the game, not really bringing anything too new to the series, you know. Even some battle royales now are adding zombies and things like that in it, just to kind of really just drag it out. But I never felt like it was a genre that was gonna stay around for, you know, 10-15 years. It probably will at this point, at least 10 years, but by then people will be so over it. I think it was battle royales kind of, they almost felt like a way of doing an MMO without an MMO, but without having anything else to go with it. It got very boring very fast. I've tried a good few of them as well. It's not like I'm completely against them. Like, I played Fortnite for a long time, but that was before they introduced seasons and battle passes, and it was very less toxic back then. There's the Kung Fu Panda. And I've fucked around with Apex Legends a good bit because I was a massive fan of Respawn, still am, and Titanfall 2. Hell yes. Hell yes. Bum, bum. Alright, so that is Hunter's Arena Legends. Now, what's not helping them is this constant need for extra subtitles at the end. You know, Hunter's Arena would have just done it. It's like there was a separate game or something. That's just me anyway. So yeah, there you go. Kind of, I don't know how you feel about this month's PS Plus. My personal opinion feels very summer game kind of vibe, you know, where you're expected to be outside and, you know, play as many games. It's a little bit of a drought. But luckily, on the good side of things, PlayStation Now seems to be, they really are like attempting to make it, you know, a bit better, basically. You know, I still think it needs a lot of work in the back end. That was my initial problem with it, not necessarily its offerings, because I think its offerings are fine. And now, as they move into giving away more like PS4 games on PS Now and that, you can tell like straight download is the way to go. You know, so when you're trying to play those old games, streaming them, it's not the same. It's not the same. But anyway, so coming in August, we have Undertale, Ghost Runner, and Nier Automata. Now, Ghost Runner I've been wanting to play. I think I played the demo. Super cool. It's basically one of those kind of parkour games that started off probably just as a playground and realized it's so fast. It's one of those games that I say is silky smooth on 240 hertz monitors and that. And Nier Automata, I mean, I don't need to even say anything about that game. It is an absolute masterpiece, from the combat to the music to the setting, the story. It is Platinum's little masterpiece, and I will be playing Nier Replicant hopefully on the challenge soon enough. Just gotta dig into some of the games I've already started. Hell yeah. Alright, so and then I think like last month, let me see if I can bring it up somewhere. They just recently put like a Red Dead Redemption 2 on it, including a few others. I did see that there was rumors of them putting God of War on there. I don't know if they did. Let me see. Maybe it's always been on there. Boom. Yeah, so July they had, God bless the PlayStation blog. Yeah, July they had Judgment, Neo 2, and Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, that is incredible. So yeah, PS Now is pretty cool. I still think they need to push it a little bit better. Get the pricing in a better position. I think, you know, they really need to give people the first month for, you know, next to nothing, $1 or whatever. Just I know most people would probably disagree, because there's so many people, console warriors mostly in the PlayStation fandom, who fucking hate the Game Pass just to hate it. You know, it's so silly. It's just blind nonsense. But yeah, I think that's silliness. it was clear that it's drumming up a lot of business. Like, obviously PS Now was around a lot earlier before the Game Pass, but I've gone back and played a lot of those games, and they don't hold up as well because you're streaming them at sometimes like 540p. They only stream in their original resolution, so yeah, it hurts them instead of helps them sometimes. But hopefully they can get on top of that. We shall see, we shall see. It all comes down to the more we use these programs, right? Hell yeah. Alright, so that's August. That's pretty good. Over on the Xbox side of things, we have actually a really good month for Games with Gold. Games with Gold clearly has been neglected for probably the best part of a year now because of the Game Pass being so amazing. In my personal opinion, I would just move away from Games with Gold, but there is still a lot of people that just get Games with Gold without messing with Game Pass. But there you go. So how they do it is they split them up. They give away 4 games, but they split them up. 2 on the first half of the month, 2 on the second half. And I never understood why they kind of split it up like this. They should have just have both on that side. So anyway, so first half of the month, you're going to have Darksiders 3. That's actually for the whole month. Interesting. Okay, there we go. It's all over the place. Look, good lord. So Darksiders 3 is for the whole month. That's really good. Like, I wouldn't say it's the best Darksiders game. I think 2 is still the best. But 3 plays like a Dark Souls game. It's really fun where you got some tough bosses. Fury's a little badass with her whip. I enjoyed it a lot. I really did. It's a nice game for replayability. Almost feels like a boss rush mode. Then from the 16th of August to September 15th, we have Yooka-Laylee, which was done by Playtonic, which were a lot of ex-Rare devs who worked on Banjo-Kazooie. Now, Yooka-Laylee, kind of looking back, a lot of people were like, it was one of those games that were very famous for being kickstarted, but it ended up being kind of an empty game. They ended up doing a kind of a side game, Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, and that one was closer to Donkey Kong Country, and that's amazing. So Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair is super cool. I actually think it's better than the 3D Yooka-Laylee. But it just kind of to show that, you know, 3D collectathons, we've kind of moved on from them, you know. I mean, you miss them, but we need a little bit something more. So I think a better 3D platformer, 3D collectathon game in the style of Banjo-Kazooie is A Hat in Time. That game's amazing. It keeps it fresh. The levels never feel too long. The story's super fun, really colourful, very responsive game, and never tries to waste the player's time, which is, I would definitely recommend that one. Next on the list, crazy as it seems, Lost Planet 3. Capcom's kind of, ironically, Lost series. They were really cool games, you know. I mean, Capcom, like a lot of other stuff, they were kind of going through a lot of teething. So by the time they had these series on the go, they were already kind of messing around with them. I think Lost Planet also came out around the time of Dead Space and that, and it was a weird comparison, especially with Dead Space 3 and Lost Planet 3. But they were kind of cool games. They had, like, you got, you know, it's Capcom, so you've got that kind of it's like a shooter, but it's also like Monster Hunter, and you got mechs and that. I think it was a really good series. I would actually mind them bringing it back in some sense, because it desperately needed like some quality of life changes, you know. And then finally, what's the last one that I can't even read it? It's in Japanese. It's like Guilty Gear. No, it's Garou, Mark of the Wolves. It's a fighting game. Okay. Apologies, I never heard of that one before. It's straight up, but yeah, pretty nice mix, you know. Pretty nice mix. You gotta give it to them. Let me see if I can find it here, so we can have a look. It looks like Guilty Gear. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it's made by the same people. Bom bom, bom bom. Garou. That's like a really old fighting game. God damn it! Well, it snuck past me on the Neo Geo. Well, there you go. And is it a remake? I wonder. PS4 review. We'll have a look at this. Yup, getting a little shiny ad. Is that sale still on? Interesting. Interesting. Oh. Is it just? Oh Lord Jesus. So it's just a Neo Geo remaster port. Interesting. I don't know how that one got past me. Alright, cool. On to the next little piece of news. We're gonna break down all of the August games, or at least a good bunch of them. This list hasn't been updated, so games that got delayed, like Kena Bridge of Spirits, that was meant to come out at the end of the month, has been delayed into September, so it's not that much of a wait. trust me, it will be worth it. That game's going to be pretty special. Yeah, so we talked about Hunter's Arena Legends, PS5 and PS4, August 3rd. Well, there you go. That's usually when the PS Plus games launch. So that's technically tomorrow. Lemnis Gate, which is a new indie game. I have a couple of these that are coming up as well. The Falconeer is coming up, and they're gonna release it onto. I heard it's coming to PC as well, but for now they're just showing it off on the PS4 and PS5. That was one of those games that they really did push for Series X and S. So now making its way to PlayStation. And yes, I had heard it coming to PC. It actually says it there, Edge of the World. So maybe they're just doing another edition of it. The Warrior Edition basically comes with all the bells and whistles. It's one of those games I really did want to play. The Falconeer, and the Pathless was another one I really wanted to play. So most of these you can get physical as well, which is pretty cool. So if you're still into collecting physical editions and stuff like me, then why the hell not? Why aren't new pages opening properly? Thank you. Yeah, so if you're a fan of, like, for this one, if you're a fan of, like, games like Panzer Dragoon and other kind of flight games like that, like Drakengard, this could kind of maybe scratch that itch. You never know. It's a big old falcon, very beautiful. Could be a game to really show off the next gen as well. Even kind of weirdly with those ships, kind of gives me Crimson Skies vibes. That's not easy to say. Oh, I see some dragons there. So yeah, Falconeer, very cool. At first, the thing about the name is, at first glance, you'll think it's like a Falconeer simulator, which actually wouldn't be a bad game. It's probably out there in some way already. You know, training falcons. Pretty cool. Beautiful, beautiful birds, but deadly in a second, for sure. Alright. Yeah, that's Falconeer. That's coming out August 5th. Probably this Friday. Hell yes. We got Starmancer on August 5th. I don't know too much about that. Godfall coming to PS4 on August 10th, which is funny. This was meant to be a PS5 exclusive. It's from Gearbox, the makers of Borderlands. They went and tried what they like to call a slasher looter instead of a looter shooter or looter slasher, whatever you want to call it. This game kind of, I haven't heard too many good reports on it. It was kind of sent to die because it was meant to be a bit of fun as a launch game. And lo and behold, what happened was, we know now that we just haven't been able to get our hands on, what the fuck? Will you just get up into the tab? There you go. We haven't been able to get our hands on PS5s, so I doubt there's many people even playing this game at all. But it looks super fun. It's the kind of game you pick up for like 20 or 30 bucks down the line and be like, oh yeah, and then kind of have some fun with it, you know? But it seems like they want to recoup maybe some of the development costs, so they're now bringing it to PS4, where obviously, you know, you've got 110 million PS4s out there, so even if 10% of them buy the game, it's still a lot of numbers. So yeah, we'll see how things go, you know. Gearbox to me have always been a very strange developer, you know. They had their baby Borderlands, and they just never had any success in any of their other games. Like, they have come out with some crazy shit. I mean, we know about Aliens Colonial Marines being like one of the worst games ever made, and then obviously Battleborn, which should have been fucking Battle Death more like, because they just sent it out to die in a world where so many games like that were out, you know. The problem is a lot of these developers cannot help themselves when it comes to trying to create, you know, Halo killers and Gears killers, or in this case it was a Destiny killer, you know. So you had things like fucking Battleborn. You had what was that other one from Chris Blazinski? What the hell was that game called? I can't remember, but you know, anyone who plays the games usually has a bit of fun. But sadly, if you truly are one out of a million people, they just shut the game down, so they don't even care if you're enjoying their game. I hate to see that, you know. Obviously, it's got to do with support. Yeah, look at that, console exclusive. What a fucking lie that was. Good lord. So, oh yeah, so a lot of people were kind of pissed about that. Yeah. Speaking of Cliff Blazinski, he's meant to be working on a new game. He always was the face of Gears of War. You know, he was the hype man. I never really knew what he did in the company, but he was the hype man for sure. And sometimes you need those kind of hype men, even if you don't know what they're... Oh yeah, it was Lawbreakers, that was it. All I remember is you were kind of floating around a lot. There's so many games like that, all trying to be the next Destiny and Destiny killer. You can't kill the king. Long live the king. So yeah, that's Godfall coming out on PS4 August 10th. We'll see. I still don't think that it's going to do that well, especially if it launches for full price. People are already pissed about it. But there you go. Next we have the Lawn Mowing Simulator. God bless this game. I love these simulator games. They're so ridiculous but so soothing. Like, take for instance the Power Wash Simulator. Jesus Christ, never in my life have I ever seen anything so satisfying. It should not be that satisfying. But here's the thing, like, power washers don't, it's not really like that in real life, you know. You don't have this very lovely little thin layer of dirt that's on your car, your house or whatever. It doesn't work. It's always crusted on there, so you end up removing half the paint. But I just find this hilarious. I mean, there's a simulator for everything these days. I already see a lot of people playing this in early access to mess around, but now it seems to be coming to Xbox, so that's good. The amount of detail they put on these like lawnmowers and even like farming simulator, like Jesus Christ. Glitchpunk, that sounds very familiar. Let's look that one up. Glitchpunk coming to PC. I feel like, oh yeah, I think I did see this. Let's see. I'd love to see games like Everhood and that come to console, but you know, when they're very small developers, it's super hard. Glitchpunk, of course, if you can already imagine it's cyberpunk-esque. I have some normal trailers set up, but yeah, we got. This is only an announcement trailer. Oh, that's no. You know what that is? That's just a fucking ad, bastards. All right, damn. It actually looked like cyberpunk as well. Sometimes they do that. YouTube, very clever. All right, so it's classic top-down action. Look at this. So this is meant to be cyberpunk-inspired GTA 2. So if you're like me and you're an old-school GTA fan where you had complete top-down, it was kind of crazy to drive. But it's super cool to see this come back. And the last time I played a top-down GTA was GTA London, and I fucking missed them. I missed them so much. So it's pretty cool. I actually like what they're going on. So I might see if I can get my hands on a code for this. It'd be super cool to play some Glitchpunk. System suspended. What I loved about the old GTAs is the random like noises they used to have, and the phone calls are all like that kind of stuff, and the music as well. Everything was so crazy back then. Good God, a little bit of visceral nudity in your face there. I like it a lot. All right, so that's Glitchpunk. Hell yeah, that's coming out on August 11th. Yeah, here's this game I was talking about, Naraka Blade Point. So I watched Proper play this, and I remember following this. I actually had this in my Souls-like list. I'll tell you now, this is probably 2 years ago when I had it in my Souls-like list. And at the time, I had no clue, and it didn't really tell it that it was going to be it's actually like a MOBA, you know? It's like a Battle Royale. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It looks amazing. But I was just absolutely killing for a game like this to be a Souls-like, you know? Closest we have is Sekiro and Ghost of Tsushima. But yeah, Naraka Blade Point. Sorry, Mr. Ad. So yeah, you go fucking crazy. I love that we're in this kind of stage where we're seeing far more Chinese and Japanese culture games, and I love it. So she's just flipping around with her little grappling hook there. We also have that game, Black Myth Wukong. You probably see it in the bottom corner there, all about the Monkey King. I can't wait for that one. That one's a good while off though. It's one of those small developers. So here it looks like we're looking at a bit of PvE. So it's probably like PvP, PvE stuff. Closer to maybe, you know, they like to call themselves Battle Royale because a lot of times they use it because it's you know, it's a nice buzzword and it's pretty hype right now. But in my personal opinion, it does your game a disservice by using it. Unless it's genuinely a Battle Royale. But to me, this looks far closer to a MOBA, you know. A battle arena. Bop, 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 bop. But yeah, I watched Props play a little bit of this. It looks amazing. I mean, his streams always look amazing, but it's got a fucking dragon coming through. But yeah, I don't know. Just on the surface, not necessarily my cup of tea, but it might be yours. Sorry if the quality's real low. It's probably whoever uploaded this 480p. Good for you, Jim Jones. Good for you. That's not what we're here for. All right. Bob up. All right, cool. So that's Naraka Blade Point. Naraka. So it's PC August 12th. Cool. Hades is finally, Hades Nuts. It's finally coming to Xbox on August 13th. I do believe it's actually coming straight to the Game Pass as well, which is really cool. I've been wanting to play this for a while. I still feel like I want to go on. I think it's also, even though this one just says Xbox Series X and Xbox One, I think it's also coming to PlayStation on that same day, especially PlayStation 5, and I would actually like to get it. You can get it a physical edition as well at the same price as digital. I think it's like $30, so you really would be saving a lot of money there. So I think I would prefer, because I don't have an Xbox Series X right now, and I'd love to play this in Swifty 60, you know. But I still think one of the best platforms for it would probably be the Switch. But, you know, with the new announcement of the Steam Deck, then I think any of these kind of awesome little handheld games would really play best there. So if you're thinking of picking up a PC or you have it already, now's the fucking time. Yeah, so it's coming out PS4, PS5 as well on August 13th. So that'll be amazing. We've got a Paw Patrol game in there. That's hilarious. Let's see what's next on the list. This Greek, I believe that's what you want to call it. Greek with G-R-E-A-K, Memories of Azure. This is a game I've actually been keeping an eye on for a while now. Boop. I think it's hand-drawn. It's got this kind of Ori the Blind Forest meets Trine. If you remember Trine, where you control like the different wizards and a knight, and you kind of have to use puzzles to get by. But think hand-drawn art style. So this is Greek. I hope that's how you pronounce it, because it kind of looks like Creek. Look how beautiful this is. Look at this. This is right up my tea. Right it up. Hell yes. In my cup of tea. Memories of Azure. Yeah, so it looks like, I don't know if you changed them on the fly or anything. It looks closer like they all follow you around. We got some classic platforming stuff. There you go, see? Now, I'm just going to double check over here, because it's probably a question you're about to ask me. Is it co-op? That's the question. Right there it looked co-op, but who knows? It might just be AI. Let's see. This is a game that could really do well on the Switch as well. The Switch. There's one thing I hate is the eShop website. Oh, I've never seen such a website to give you no information. They really try. They really go out of your way. It's incredible. They barely give you the price. Yeah, I think it's just one player. I'm double checking. Like I said, the eShop tells me nothing. Let's try Steam. Steam can be a funny one as well. Like it's all down to the developer updating their store page, you know. So you could have something that's like partial controller support, and that would have been from like early access that no one bothered to change or something like that. But yeah, it seems to be single player. 17th of August. Has that date changed? I don't think so. Hopefully not. It might have. It says PC, PS5, Xbox. It's coming to everything. That trailer was probably just intended for PlayStation audiences. You know the way they do that. Alright, so cool. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty. On the August 24th, near the end of the month, on August 20th, we have Ghost of Tsushima's Director's Cut. This has become, sadly, a bit of a talking point, this one, because of the fact that Sony are charging $30 for the new expansion, you know. So what they want you to do is, you know, if you're feeling like you want to upgrade the game, so if you have it on PS4, you can upgrade it to Director's Cut for, I think it's only like $10 or something. It's nothing, which is great. But if you're going from PS4 to PS5, it's an extra $30, which is not too bad either. But the issue is it's meant to be only $20, but sadly they're just putting on an extra tenner on there because it's PS5, and we've seen this across the board. It's happening with like Spider-Man, Miles Morales, all these kind of cross-gen games. They're just slipping another tenner onto it because it's PS5, and I think it's a dangerous precedent because they're trying to normalize raising the prices of video games, and in a world where, you know, Xbox is starting to turn into Netflix, and PC sales are just they're like fucking every week now, you know. Yeah, I don't think it's the right time to be upping the price of video games. And we saw this with games like Returnal, you know, where you go from an indie studio who's used to selling their games at $20-$30 a pop, you know, to make this incredible game, and then for Sony to slap €80 on it, or $80, and they had no idea about it. Kind of felt like a little bit of a slap in the face, a little bit greedy on Sony's part. There's no doubt that the expansion, they're saying that it's has like 15 to 20 hours in it. The Ghost of Ikushima. It's a brand new island with all these creepy stuff happening in it. Like, I'm not saying it's not worth it. We're talking about Sucker Punch here. It's incredible. It's definitely worth the money, in my opinion. I don't like when Sony does this kind of shit, you know? It's greed, but it's greed without transparency. If someone's openly greedy about it, you're like, fine, fuck it, you know? It is what it is. But, you know, that it's an extra tenner just to slap the word PS5 on it, you know? It's silly. It's silly. Alright, cool. Yeah, I think I might end up playing that. We'll see how we're going this month. We have a lot of great games, but I'm smack dab in the middle of so many. Like, we just got through one of the biggest weeks for indie games in ages. It was amazing. Alright, cool. So, next up, I was just talking about there is Alien Fireteam Elite. So, this is a brand new co-op shooter in the Aliens universe. Now, I just mentioned earlier, Colonial Marines. We all still have a nasty, bad taste in our mouth after that game. But trust me, this game actually looks pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Looks super fun. If anyone has had a chance to play it early, let me know. It looks pretty cool. Obviously, we can tell straight away it's closer to the vibe of, you know, Aliens. I mean, it's even called Aliens, so it's meant to follow probably the story from the second movie, which was, you know, all about the Colonial Marines. With, you know, game over, man, game over. But it looks pretty cool, you know. Sadly, we have had a fuck ton of co-op, you know, hack and slash games, shooters lately that have just come out and, you know, died. Like things like Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, which really hurt my soul. But clearly, they weren't going for the original RPG vibes in that one. So, but this looks pretty cool. I like this. You know, I'm still a huge fan of games like Kill 'em Floor, and I messed around with Strange Brigade and a couple of those games as well. So they're super fun. Obviously, super fun with friends. There's a lot of gameplay as well. I'd say that trailer is pretty indicative of gameplay. You know, it's probably tidied up and polished up a little bit. But yeah, it could be pretty cool. August 24th for that one. Aliens Fireteam Elite. Keep an eye on that one. Now for the big one. This is the one I'm really waiting. Like, seeing as sadly, Kenna Bridge of Spirits has been delayed into September, but it's okay. It leaves more room for the one and only Psychonauts 2. This is a big game now. Double Fine have been amazing for years. They've created some of the most incredible worlds, you know, from the original Psychonauts to Costume Quest 1 and 2, which are just, I still play them every Halloween. They're just such a treat. And of course, Brutal Legend with Jack Black, which is one of the most metal games of all time. And now, sadly, looking back at Brutal Legend, so many of those rock legends had passed away after the fact, you know. So going back and playing Brutal Legend feels like a trip back in time for sure. So yeah, so with Psychonauts, the game kind of it was one of those nicher third-person platformers, you know. And then a good bit of time passed, and we ended up getting a kind of pseudo spin-off game with PSVR, and now we've got Psychonauts 2. Now, like I said, Double Fine are now owned by Xbox, but Xbox trying to do everything they can to be the good guy. They're still, you know, keeping their promise, and Psychonauts 2 will be coming out on all platforms, including PlayStation. If you've been in dire need of a 3D platformer like I have, this is what we're talking about. Hell yeah. So I'm hoping to play the first Psychonauts sometime this month before this comes out. This is not coming out till August 27th. You know, obviously Xbox still want to try and convince you that Xbox is the best place to play. It will be coming to Game Pass day one. So, you know, if you're a fan of that subscription service like I am, it's basically like a free game. But yeah, if you don't know anything about Psychonauts, you're basically going into people's brains, you know, looking at their dreams and their deepest, darkest thoughts. So it leaves it wide open for some truly incredible moments, and yeah, as you can see, very psychedelic stuff. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of console fanboys are already trying to pit this game against something like Ratchet and Clank, even though Psychonauts is already coming to PlayStation anyway. So it's pretty stupid of them to do that. I don't put these games against each other. They're completely different. This game, you know, the art style is closer inspired by the likes of Latka, you know, like Coraline, Box Trolls, those movies from that studio. And obviously like Tim Burton works as well. So yeah, super kind of trippy like that, you know, compared to Ratchet and Clank, which is, you know, Ratchet and Clank. They give it a bit of a darker, more serious turn with Rift Apart, but they're still amazing. They're all amazing. Support the devs out there, you know. So that's August 25th. Yeah, I'm nearly 100% sure it's still coming to PlayStation, even though it says PC and Xbox there. But I had read up about this. They're doing it with a lot of stuff, like even though they own Bethesda, you know, things like Deathloop, and Ghostwire Tokyo are still very much coming PlayStation. But yeah, you can pretty much get the first Psychonauts if you happen to. They're pretty much giving it away in every shape and form on every platform, you know, from Epic to Steam to Humble Bundle, everything. You can pick it up for next to nothing, and it's totally worth going back and playing. Super fun game. Alright, cool. What else? So, next up we have Baldo, which is this incredible Studio Ghibli-inspired indie game that's coming out. It's coming to Switch and Xbox and PlayStation. It's super, super fun. It's kind of Zelda-inspired, but definitely Studio Ghibli-inspired as well. I think it went through a lot of development time, but also recently a name change. It's now called Baldo the Guardian Owls. And it's funny because it's called Baldo, but there you go. I believe it's called that because I think it's got to do with, is it like an Italian, I think it's like an Italian thing or something. I can't remember. I must look it up. It's like an Italian town. There was a reason behind it. I can't remember. It might mean, I think it might mean brave in Italian. Was that it? Who knows? Who knows? But it's pretty cool. It's definitely inspired by Studio Ghibli. Any Nino Kuni fans out there would be right at home. Oh, Jesus, Granny. Oh, your bits almost fell out. Good God. Hello, Lacuna. How's it going? Happy bank holiday. How was your weekend? How are you doing? We're just going over some of August's releases. This is Baldo, the Guardian Owls. This was coming out at the end of August. I'm actually glad because between this and Psychonauts 2, which are like guaranteed plays for me, this gives me more time with Kenna being delayed a little bit. So yeah, you got like old school Zelda mixed with Studio Ghibli. Looks super fun. Some nice bosses there. Well, the combat looks all real time, which actually I am super happy about. Kind of gives me the Legend of Mana vibes, you know. Hell yes. Alright, what's else here? Oh yeah, No More Heroes for you Switch fans. No More Heroes is coming out as well. I don't know if it's been delayed. Let me see. This list is so old. This is just a little trailer. Has it been delayed at all? Let me see. No, August 27th. If you don't know No More Heroes, oh man, it's just absolutely beautiful, crazy Japanese randomness. It's done by like Grasshopper. If you don't know them, they worked on games like Shadow of the Damned and Lollipop Chainsaw. All those, right? They did them as well. Yeah, they're crazy games and I love them. And obviously, No More Heroes. I think it was, didn't it start? Was it on the Wii that No More Heroes started? Didn't it? Was it the Wii? I'm really sure. I feel like I played it on the Wii. Yeah. This game is so crazy that you actually like save the game while taking a dump on the toilet. Kind of like that. Grasshopper. I'm nearly. Is it connected to Suda 51? Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't know if he's still attached because they tend. You got like Swery 65 and Suda 51. All these cool guys, usually like ex Capcom guys. They went on to just create some of the most craziest games. I really like Shadows of the Damned. I wish they would remake that or remaster it. Thought it was pretty bitchin'. Yeah. So yeah, this one coming out. I only have a 2021 release date here. I'm trying to. Yeah, I don't think it's been delayed. I'm getting August 27th. Hopefully that will stay. We're pretty close to that. Who knows? Now this is just a small fraction of the games that are coming this month. Trust me, there'll be many more. We're gonna have things shifting. Like I said, there's a nasty rumor going around about Horizon Forbidden West being delayed into 2021. Then that would push God of War Ragnarok to holiday 2022. But like I said, I don't think Sony mind. I don't think they mind at all. They want to be getting those PS5s closer to like 20 mil. Because there's definitely, I'd say there's enough. I think there's enough people. Like there's enough people wanting PS5s that you could probably get close to like 50 mil. You know, they just have to get them out there. There you go. There's like save the game by taking a dump. I don't know, like if they're only being able to produce like 1 million of them a month and it's still constrained, then that'll tell you that there's so many people still wanting them. I don't know why this makes me want to play Gravity Rush. But yeah, how are you doing? Alien game the style of XCOM would be fun. I think they did something like that though, right? I'm nearly sure they did. They did something very close, like holy shit. I'll have to have a look. Boop. Damn, I feel like I would have seen something like that. Ooh. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's a good idea, though. I'm going to finish Plague's Tale. Oh, yeah, hell yeah. I think I saw you playing that, dude. You played on the PS5 and you finished it. Jeez, you must have played it in one go, did you? I don't know. They kind of fixed Streamlabs but broke it again, gobshites. Plot was pretty obvious and there was definitely jank. Oh, no. See, I think that was the PS5 version. They shouldn't have bothered with that. This is such a weird... I'll tell you how crazy it is. But yeah, I think most hype this month, I think, for me, is Psychonauts 2. It's just wild. But we got, of course, our own stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much all the games coming this month. We talked about PS Plus. We talked about the Xbox games with Gold. We talked about all these games. So there's something for everyone. Hell yes. What are you guys going to pick up this month? 20 years of Double Fine. The industry would not be the same without Double Fine. I'd be super sad if they ever went away.